Hello and namaste. I am Harshala and I welcome you to my channel. So this is the first TBR that I'm making in the month of no in the year of 2025. So today is 1st of June and hopefully this video comes out in like the next few days. So that being said, I am super excited because I've picked one series and a few exciting books that have been on my TBR for a while now. So the first book that I have picked, like there is no theme for this month. I know I used to do these themes and then I used to have this bookopoly, but this month I don't have a theme. I'm just like going with the flow. One thing about me is that now I'm a Kindle girly. I don't know if I have mentioned it anytime soon, but yeah, that is what I am now. So I read books on my Kindle when I'm out and I read physical books when I'm home. So yeah, another thing that is happening with me is whenever I read like fantasy, high fantasy, romantasy and romance books, I need a audiobook. So I do have a Audible subscription, I have a Storytel subscription, and I alternate between whatever is available. So Storytel has more free books, but I'm reading like only 6 books per month, and I'm specifically picking up books that I already have on my shelf from my TBR. So I am not like spending that much of money, but yeah, that is one habit that I actually enjoy. So I am, but I am not someone who can only listen to a audiobook. I need either a physical book or a Kindle book, something to go along with my audiobook, because it is like an entire experience for me and not like just one thing at a time. I am like so engrossed in like reading that hearing and listening to the characters speak makes like the entire experience 10x better. So the first book for the month of June is The School for Good Mothers by Jasmine Chan. So let me read the blurb for you so that I also know what we are what to expect, and I could explain or what my thoughts are on this book. So Frida had fed and changed her toddler Harriet. She had a work deadline, an article to finish, a job hanging by a thread, a file she had left in the office. She would go get it. Harriet would be fine. But then the neighbors heard her crying. Soon the state decides that Frida is not fit to care for her daughter, that she must be retrained, that bad mothers everywhere must be re educated. Will their mistakes cost them everything? The School for Good Mothers is an explosive and thrilling novel about love, perfectionism, and parenthood. So, you know what this book is giving me? This book is giving me the entire vibe of Mrs. Chatterjee versus Norway or something of I think that was the title. So this was like an Indian film that came out, but I haven't seen it, but I know the story. Like I read a few articles about it and I entirely read the Wikipedia page. Yes. So I know what happens in real life because that story was based on like a real life incident, and this is like giving me a similar vibe. But instead of Mrs. Chatterjee getting sent away from the country, this one Frida, the mother here, is getting sent to a school for good mothers. So this one is like giving me vibes of Chatterjee versus Norway, and at the same time I don't know, like when I close my eyes it's like The Handmaid's Tale. I have seen the show, not read the book, but it is like giving me that, like the way they were trained, something like that. But that was like too extreme, that movie, that show was. But this is like subtly giving me those vibes. I don't know why. Like I have also seen a few seasons of Orange is the New Black, where there were like it was like a prison kind of show where the show revolves around the lives of the inmates and the police, or whatever they are called, the prison workers. So this is like giving me those vibes, and I don't know why I picked up, but I was like my entire TBR is like all over the place because I don't have a theme, I don't have a genre going on this month, I don't have like anything. I'm just picking books as and how I wish them. So yeah, The School for Good Mothers is the first book. Then there are 4 books in a series, and the series called Lord of Rings, and the first book to read is The Hobbit. I don't know how to go about it, like what is the order in this series. Like I read Shatter Me in the month of May, like April and May, half in April, half in May, and I like royally messed up the reading order. Like I'm so pissed about that. Like the 1.5 and the 4.5 book was supposed to be read after 1 and after 4, but I ended up reading after like ending the all 6 or 7 books that were there. So everything was like here and there all over the place. I wish I would have just gone on Goodreads and like just sorted out the order. So with this series I'm going to do that. But the Hobbit is the first one. So I have seen, I think, the Rings of Power. I'm not sure the name is correct. It's on Prime Video, Amazon Prime Video, and that like intrigued me so much. And I am a lot into fantasy and science fiction, but I haven't read a single science fiction book yet. I think I should have picked up science fiction book, but I have very few and I don't know where to start. So if you are someone who's read a lot of science fiction books, drop them in the comments below so that I can add them in my TBR. And a big thank you to you in advance. But yeah, we have picked up The Hobbit, and I think this is like the zero point 0.5 book, and it is by J.R.R. Tolkien. And who doesn't know him? Okay, this series is like the holy grail of fantasy. So the first book in the series is The Hobbit. The second one, or the first, no, this is the zero point 0.5. Hobbit is the zero point 0.5 book. Oh my god, I'm so fumbling because I'm filming after a while. The zero point 0.5 book is Hobbit. The first book in the series is called The Fellowship of the Ring, which I haven't got because most of my classics, or most of my books that are not new are taken or like bought from the book chore event called Lock the Box, and you don't find like the entire series sometimes, and this is what happened with me. Fellowship of the Ring is the first book and I haven't got my hands on it, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to download it on my Kindle. Did I mention that I'm a Kindle girly now? Yes, I did, I think, or I hope so. Then the second book in the series is, wait, okay, it's numbered here, yeah. The second book in the series is The Two Towers, part 2 of The Lord of the Rings, and the third book in the series is The Lord of the Rings. So, I have seen, because I've seen Rings of Power, I somewhere know like there is this evil whatever, like the Voldemort of Lord of Rings series. I forgot his name. Wait, Sauron. Yes. I remember the elf who kept mentioning. Yeah, Sauron was his name. And then there were these, who are they? The short people. What are they called, Lira? Yeah, dwarves. I think Pip or Pipa, I am not sure. It was something from P, and like her friends, and then they go, and I think Sauron is amongst the elves now. That is what I know. Like I have not seen the second or the third, whatever season came after the season 1 of Lord of Rings. No, sorry, Rings of Power, but I'm just fumbling at this point. So I don't know what this is about. I just know that there is this badass person who's like not badass. He's like the villain, okay? But if you are a dark romance reader, you know where my obsession comes from. So yeah, there are 4 books in Lord of the Rings series. I have 3 of them. Will download them on Kindle. Okay, I don't know how to hold them. Okay, let me just hold them. Yeah. So this is a high fantasy series. The genre is high fantasy, is what I know. So I hope this turns out to be as good as I'm hoping it to be, because I have a lot of expectations after watching the Rings of Power. Then this one has been on my TBR. Like I remember specifically, I got it on Women's Day last year in 2024, and it's Lessons in Chemistry, and it is by Bonnie Garmus. It is about this woman, Elizabeth Zost, who is like this chemist. I think she is like someone in chemistry. Like she used to work at this lab, and it was like all men's lab, but she was like kicked out of it, and then she wanted to like try her hands at something, and then she ends up in a cooking show, but she actually starts giving, you know like she presents the show in such a way that it is like very scientific, very chemistry, and like people are like just very engrossed and very enchanted by her, and that is how she gets famous. I am not sure who this book is like based on. Is it a real life story or something on those lines? But yeah, I have a special edition, and it is an author signed copy. कहाँ गया? I hope it is visible. It's an author signed copy. So I'm really happy, and it has like these blue sprayed edges, and it's a hardcover. So super excited to read this one because of course it is woman oriented. And then we have, I think, my first, second, third, my fourth Emily Henry book. Wait, one, two, three, four. No, my fifth Emily Henry book. So I think after this, I already read the first book that I read by her was Happy Place. Then I read what? Then I read Beach Read. Then I read Funny Story because all my books are on that shelf. So that is why I'm like looking there. Then I read Great Big Beautiful Life. And I actually thought that I have already read Book Lovers, but I haven't. So this book I already picked up yesterday night, and this book is about these two. I think one is a publicist. Our main female character Nora is a publicist, and Charlie is the editor. So they meet and they instantly like dislike each other, and then Nora has this strings of failed relationships where her boyfriend ends up like goes on this some business trip or something, and then they end up like the boyfriend ends up like all the boyfriends end up falling in love with some other person because they found better or whatever, the life journey that they go through. And then what happens is that the main character Nora ends up alone, and she has some issues. Of course, it's a Emily Henry book. The main characters have to be real as they can be. So what happens later is that after a string of like failed relationships, Nora's sister Libby is like pregnant with her second or third child, I think, 5 months pregnant, and she tells her sister Nora that let's go to a 1 month trip where we are just both alone, so that Libby also gets a break from the kids, and she has some downtime before the baby comes. And and they both can spend some time together, and they go to this small town, Sunshine Falls. Yeah, Sunshine Falls, which is like the place, the real place from one of her like Nora's author who wrote a book about on like based in Sunshine Falls. So they go there, and then she meets, guess who? Charlie. But I haven't reached that point. Uh, till what page I have read? I am on page 32, and they have just like landed in that city, and like they have taken the cab to Sunshine Falls, and they have been like stranded because the hotel or motel, whatever they choose, is like on this hill which has a lot of like stairs, and there is no way around it. So they have to like literally climb a hill to reach their hotel. So I don't know what they're going to do. Libby is expecting that she will go to a small town like her ex-boyfriends, and she will find some kind of I don't know what, her comfort cozy space. She heals there, and she finds her love, like true love, one true love. And then she ends up being with that person like her ex-boyfriend. So this is like imitating what her past boyfriends have done. So Nora is like not expecting, but she actually gave in because Libby is pregnant, and she has been like they have been slowly falling apart, like the sisters have been falling apart. Also, Libby is like married, and Nora is the elder sister. So Nora has some kind of issue going on, and they both are just not communicating. So she thinks that Libby needs this, so let's go and like let's heal our relationship, is what she thinks. So yeah, that is what it is. I don't know more about it. Can you bring me my Kindle, please? I actually forgot my Kindle. Dhanyavad. I also have to decorate my Kindle. I don't know. I actually filmed another video which I started, which was like reading a reading log, right? I was reading Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry, but I don't know where this is going now. The cover is hideous, but it's called Beautiful Venom by Rena Kent. And you generally I read books very fast, but I haven't gotten the time to like pick this one up. But yeah, this is the final book that I want to read in the month of June, because with full time work and someone who travels 33 kilometers one way, so every day I just travel one way for 2 hours. I change two metros, I change two autos, rickshaws. So that is like a lot. I get like 4 hours of like road time, out of which like for 3 hours I just read sitting in metro. So that is all I can manage every day. And in those like 3 hours, some of the days I'm like sitting in the metro and like editing videos for my clients. So that is something that keeps happening, so I don't want to like stress more. But 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8, these are the 8 books that I'm really hoping to finish, because the Hobbit series is really short. I actually wanted to, pick up Leigh Bardugo's Six of Crows series, because I have already finished Shadow and the Bone last year, and I think I made a proper vlog on it. But Six of Crows, Crooked Kingdom are not the only 2 books that I want to read. I also want to read King of Scars and Rule of Wolves, which is like Nic- Nicholas. I think his name is Nicholas. I don't think I will be wrong about him. He's one of my favorite characters amongst like the Shadow and Bone. So I'm not sure. I think his name starts from N, and I hope that it is Nicholas. So I actually wanted to pick those 4 books up, but those are very chunky, and I have like special edition books of Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. So I'm not sure it is like a wise idea to like travel with them, because my bag is like heavy. It's like 6 kgs every single day, and adding even 300 grams more to my bag is like a no, and I don't want to purchase something that I already have in special edition on my Kindle. So yeah, we'll see how that goes, if I stick to my budget, or I go ahead and start reading them. But yeah, these are the 8 books that I want to read. Let me like just go through them. First one is, we'll go like in the reverse order, because the first one is Beautiful Venom by Reena Kent. I didn't tell you guys what this Reena Kent book is about, but what I assume, it is like a hockey romance, of course a dark hockey romance. I think a bully romance, in fact, but I'm not sure. Okay, I don't know the names of characters. I don't know what the setting is. I only know like these are the genres. Other than that, I don't know anything. Book Lovers by Emily Henry, romance, contemporary romance. Okay, Lessons in Chemistry, literary fiction. 3 books from the Hobbit series. Wait, the Hobbit has mentioned all the 4 books in this series. Okay, so the first one is Hobbit. Then the second, no, no, no. Every time I'm going wrong with it. The first one is, no, the 0.51 is the Hobbit. Ira is like, oh my god, this woman is going to like make me go crazy. 0.5 is the Hobbit. First one is the Fellowship of the Ring. Second one is the Two Towers, and the third one is the Return of the King. So these are the 4 books which are like high fantasy. High fantasy is something which doesn't have romance in it. It has a lot of fantasy plus a lot of politics, I guess so. Because I haven't read much. I'm still a newbie after reading like not more than 300 books, I guess. No, 300 to ho gaya rahega. Not reading more than 500 books, okay? And finally, The School for Good Mothers, which is, I don't know which category it falls in. Maybe, just maybe literary fiction, but I'm not too sure, okay? And yeah, that's it for my TBR for the month of June. Let me know which books you are reading in the comment section for the month of June, so that I can add more books to my never ending TBR. You don't have to read as much as I am reading. I read because I don't know what else to do with my time. I am just someone who just finds a lot of comfort in reading. But if you're reading even one book this month, it's great, okay? Even reading 10 pages every month is more better than not reading at all, okay? You don't have to, like, there were months where I was not reading at all, like September and October. I haven't read even a single book, not even one book, okay? So I know how you feel, but no judgment, no pressure at all. Just let me know what books you want to read. Your TBR can be read over the course of like next 10 years, because reading is not something you need to drop. So yeah, that's it from my end. I hope you guys have a good time reading, and I will see you guys in my next video. Until next time, stay flawsome, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video.